Day 5 update for the Frostblades Trickster, and I'm going to just jump right into my first Sirus of the league. I got some big upgrades today that I'll go over after this. I have no idea if I'll be able to do this. I should have changed, well, I guess if I die I'll do that. I should have changed my Pantheon for the Flask one because I don't have Corrupted Blood immunity, so if I get hit by the die beam, I could very well die, so basically I'm going to have to react. Normally, if you don't have Corrupted Blood immunity via a Jewel Corrupt or via the Mastery is hard to get because there used to be the Chaos Resist Mastery used to be over here, which would give it, but now there's nothing. I mean, I could still go up and get Protection Mastery, but it's a lot of points. So, yeah, basically I'm going to have to hope that I have enough flash charges. It looks like I can use it 3 times, so I just need to not get hit by the die beam 3 times, especially the big one, because that one applies a lot of corrupted blood to you. Alright, so, yeah, I should have prepared better. I should have got a jewel with the corrupted blood immunity. Alright. Hope looks like I'm getting some graphical flickers here. Alright. So we're just gonna... Oh, we already phased him. Okay, I might be a little... Ooh. Took a lot of damage over time there, and that wastes one of my things right away, and also puts me in danger of getting killed. So now I have to kind of wait for that storm back there to go away, and then try to rush in. Oh, and there I go. Alright, well, at least I get to fix my... So I definitely botched that. So I'm going to put on Solibris Latha, and that should fix my problems. So not the greatest of starts. But, yeah, I really... Oop, and I almost didn't put on my auras. Really botched that. But hey, we're doing it live. Sometimes it gets messy. Alright. Oop. Oh. Imagine if I get killed by the first meteor. Alright. I think I'll just go ahead and heal because I'll have a couple of seconds here for flash charges to start regenning. Alright. This shouldn't be that hard to dodge. I don't know. Maybe it's just, there you go. Alright, my flash charges are back up, and the storm is clear, so I can get underneath him. I'm gonna have to go ahead and right away, get out of that. It's a good time to DPS. Alright, there's his die beam. Okay. Alright, this is a lot more open. This should be better. And full flash charges. Storm's still underneath him, so I'm getting pretty unlucky. Sometimes you can get right back underneath him. Basically, you can go back to... There you go. The storm will sometimes spawn like right on top of him, so you kind of have to wait, which is really obnoxious. Oop. There he is. Alright, and get some really good DPS there. Oh. Barely dodged that. We'll go up here where it's open, and this will be the last stage. The last stage is by far the hardest, and even though I died in the early one, I'm much more likely generally to die in this last stage. The first few stages are usually pretty easy. His attack patterns, once you get used to them, are generally very easy to dodge, but I've been not doing a great job at it. Alright. But, when he goes and splits off like this, the one that's marked is going to be... Oop. Oh, I really messed this up. Ooh. Alright, well, I'm going to be taking 1,000,000,000% more damage if he actually hits me, but luckily he didn't. I played that fight really, really badly. Okay, I just got his belt, and I don't think I want any of these, really. They're not bases that I'm interested in. Okay, so that was an incredibly messy fight, but yeah, you can see, I guess, the point. So got all of that taken care of. And yeah, we'll go over my stuff. So if you didn't see, I put out a community post. I got a doctor from the stack decks. I've been opening my own stack decks. I never sell them, even though in the long run, it's probably more lucrative to sell them. Been opening them for a long time. I've gotten, nurses, I've gotten other good divination cards, but I've never gotten a doctor. And today I got my first doctor out of a stacked deck. I sold it for 12.9 divines and used it to buy some upgrades. So even though today I was kind of like busy and kind of meandering along in my progress really slowly, I had some other stuff in real life going on a little bit. But today, because of that, even though I didn't get to put in the hard work and the time, I got the luck. So I was able to progress super hard that way. So as far as upgrades, I now have a Stygian Vice, a decent one here. With high life, some good resists, tons of fire resist, which covers me where I need to be, some flash charge gain. Not the best, but it's not too bad. I've got a really good jewel here with double corrupt damage and cold penetration, and then tier 1 cold damage with claws. I think it's tier 2 life max roll, and then a tier 3 cold damage to attacks roll. So very, very good. I got this for 1 divine. I bought this base. I believe it was for with just the additional strikes. So it was a spike gloves with additional strikes. No, I did buy this whole base. I bought it finished, but it had bad stats. So what I did was I did prefixes can't be changed, and then I went and recrafted cold because I needed cold. Unfortunately, I only got 6 cold resist on here, but I got life, and then I also got an open suffix, which allowed me to get cold and chaos resist. So I'm now LE weakness capped, fully overcapped on things. In fact, I could lose some lightning resist. That also allowed me to get rid of the implicit on my 2-tone boots, which is really nice. And I ended up dropping the mastery that was giving me spell suppression since I'm using an armor glove now. But I made up for it by getting resourcefulness again. So I haven't gotten a new lethal pride yet, so this one's still giving me some leech, some armor, some max life, now totem damage because I have that, some strength, some percent strength, Warcry buff, burning damage, melee crit strike, burning damage again, and +1 fortification. So the benefits are not good at all. I would say like the life and the 2 crit mods are kind of the highlight, although 21 fortification's not bad either. But I did upgrade all of my jewels, and I will, after I'm kind of done here, go over how I search for jewels, but I have some pretty good ones now. This one is attack speed while holding a shield, accuracy, which put me back to accuracy cap, claw damage, and freeze duration. Because I got, this is the most important thing. So I'm still running Vengeant Cascade, as you can see. I got the 30% Frostblade's projectile speed on my helmet, which allowed me to drop the gloves. And then I kind of, min-maxed my projectile speed on my jewels by getting an 8% projectile speed jewel here. This one also has attack damage, attack speed, and critical strike chance. I needed an 8%, so I upgraded from a 6 to 8. I did drop a little bit of freeze duration in order to do that, but because I gained so much damage, I'm actually freezing for more. Damage will eventually outscale the need for freeze duration, but until you get to really high levels, you're still going to want plenty of freeze duration, which I have on 2 of my jewels. The other one, I haven't upgraded this jewel yet, but I do plan on doing so very soon. So yeah, I have this nice one here and this nice one here, 2 nice jewel upgrades, both giving me a decent amount of attack speed. So got those, got this jewel here, and yeah, as far as the upgrades go, that is... Oh, and I added a large cluster jewel. Because of the additional strikes, I was able to spec out of multi-shot here. So I got an additional strike on my gloves. And I could attempt to raise either the frenzy or the... Actually, I can't do that because it'll mess things up. So I'm kind of stuck here. I'll have to do that with the next one I do when I bring them together. Merge together using the orb that Sirus drops, that unfortunately I didn't get one. But I got this large cluster jewel. What you want to do to make a large cluster jewel, the most important stat generally is the increased attack and cast speed, because more attack speed's always good. So what I like to do is I like to take it in, and there are 2 separate mods to guarantee. If you either use the purple juice and you use the attack modifier, the only attack modifier that can roll on a cold jewel or a cold cluster jewel is attack and cast speed. And same thing here, since attack and cast speed, the only caster modifier that can roll on it is attack and cast speed, and the range is 1 to 3, so you want to keep rolling until you get the 3%, and then some other beneficial stuff. Ideally, the 2 stats I would want would be the increased damage. I believe it can roll up to 4% increased damage on item level 84 or 85, so yeah, this is a tier 2 roll with the 3%, and the last one, preferably in my opinion, is the 35% increased effect, because that's going to give you a total of 5% increased damage per node and 1% increased attack speed per node. So that's very helpful as well. That's how I like to roll my jewel. I think it's very good, but you can go for notables as well. I have Prismatic Heart back here. There are very good cold notables. If you'd prefer to go for notables, that's perfectly understandable, but I just like to be as fast as possible. It just feels better. So that is how I made my jewel. I just bought the item level 84 cluster jewel. I think 81 is the minimum to where you can hit 3% attack and cast speed, if I recall, but it's been a while, so you might have to look that up. Yeah, and then I'm just running the same cluster jewel for the projectile speed here. Other than that, I haven't made too many changes. Yeah, everything else is kind of the same. So I spec'd out a multi-shot since I didn't need that anymore, and I think that's the only thing I've changed, but I'm not 100% on that. Yeah, I think just getting another level and getting... Oh, and then dropping the mastery here. So I got a total of 6 points to spend, plus I leveled up, so 7 points, which allowed me to set this up. Once I hit probably... if I can hit 97, I can get another medium in, which I can either use a crit chance one, but what I'm going to do, I can actually reach 100% crit chance with the setup I have now, simply by taking this Harvest Mastery and crafting the 1% increased critical strike chance per 4% quality. It doesn't sound like a lot, it sounds like 5% crit chance, but much like the Crucible passive, it is local, so it'll actually increase my base crit chance, which will scale all of the percentage crit chance I have throughout the rest of it. And we do scale base crit chance as well via Nightblade and via Assassin's Mark. Actually, I have a lot of gem upgrades too, yeah, I have a lot of gem upgrades. I did finally hit my 2120 Frostblades and my 2120 Herald of Ice, and I also purchased an Anomalous Hatred and unfortunately failed to 21 that. The reason I use Anomalous Hatred is because it gives increased chill and freeze duration. So, the increased freeze duration, I harp on and on about this, but this is really important for freezing bosses. If you haven't checked out the playlist I put out in yesterday's video I talked about having a playlist that explains basically everything. So you can check out yesterday's update and look in the description and the pinned comment. I have a whole playlist, and especially the Trinity and Freeze video, which explains all of the mechanics very in depth and how Freeze works and Trinity, because that is by far the most common question I am asked. So I've answered that extensively a lot of times, and you should just check out that video if you want to know. So, but yeah, spiked gloves give melee damage. It's pretty much the only, I need to fix the implicit on this. How many blesseds do I have? Just 11. So let's see if we can, there you go. One, nice. Cool. All right, so I could have gotten a little bit more damage there, but obviously the melee damage doesn't affect the projectile part of the build, the return from Vengeance Cascade. However, it is going to give me bigger freezes in general, and there's not really much better as far as I could get projectile speed or projectile damage gloves as well, which might be evasion base, which could be better too. But I do like to add a little bit of armor into the build to add on. Now, one of the biggest upgrades that I almost forgot to mention is I merged a different skill tree into the tree. So this time I took a shield that I searched for a shield on trade and got a really good bargain on a shield that had this mod on it: 15% cold damage, 3% physical damage taken from hits is cold. It was 15 chaos, and it also had this node, which is reduced reflect damage taken with the increased armor evasion energy shield, which is local. So it basically counts just like a roll would be, like this Phantasm's increased evasion rating. It counts just like that, essentially. And then this one's really, really good. Now, I wanted freeze duration on here too, but I just couldn't. I tried merging some things, and I just couldn't get it on. But yeah, this is 25% chance to block projectile attack damage, minus 20% chance to block projectile spell damage. I don't have any spell blocks, so the downside doesn't affect me at all. So this is just straight up 25% chance to block projectile attack damage, which is absolutely insane. Like, my base block is 24 because I can't really fit block on this shield yet. If I can get my resistances sorted out elsewhere, I will do so. I'm also 44 chaos resist and capped against chaos damage over time now, which I do via Soul of Aracali with the chaos resist damage over time. I also need to get Malagaro and Hybrid Widow so that I can have the other two. And the only minor I've done is Soul of Aberath, and that's just for, farming the red altars, basically. Farming the Searing Exarch altars. There are other useful ones, like Soul of Relicash isn't bad because it limits the amount of corrupted bloods that can be put onto you at 5, so it just stops you from being caught off guard. If you kill like a pack of 20 magic monsters that give you corrupted blood, you'll only be inflicted by 5 of them instead of 20 at once, so that could be useful. This one's just reduced chaos damage and reduced chaos damage over time taken while on caustic ground, so also very good. And also the less duration of poisons and limit of 3 poisons on you is actually insane. People ask me about the Pantheon all the time. Your Pantheon should be a toolbox. It shouldn't be just like take these 2 Pantheons. It might be generally you take these, but your Pantheon should be 100% something that you are changing frequently based on the situations you're in, based on your level of gearing, based on what kind of content you're taking on, even based on different bosses. Like if when I fight Uber Shaper, for instance, I might take Soul of Solaris because 20% chance to take 50% less area damage from hits could save me from a Shaper Slam. And the reduced damage over time, if I manage the puddles well, isn't going to be a problem. And I usually don't have a lot of troubles with that, but sometimes I'll get one shot by a Shaper Slam. And also the 6% physical damage reduction while there's only one nearby enemy is also really good against Shaper Slam, because there's Shaper's the only one on the field for all of the phases where he's actually attacking you. So yeah, think of your Pantheon as a toolbox and just consider what you might do. Like with my new shield mod, this one, the 40% reduced reflect damage taken, and my instant leech, I can probably just pop on Soul of Bugle, which, by the way, the reduced effective curses on you can be very helpful as well. So getting the small node on this as well, using your, whatchamacallit, I actually don't have any. I haven't found a lot this league. I think I've found 3. But your divine vessels to fill these out later on when you have them can be very, very important. So yeah, just I guess if you want to ask for a general, if you must never change it, just get Soul of Aracali and Soul of Abrath and just leave them on, but make sure you use divine vessels to capture all the bosses for them, so you're getting maximum effect. If you must like just put that on and forget about it forever, do that. But if you want to, you know, be more successful, I suggest like learning what they do and thinking about it like a toolbox to customize whatever content you're doing. So I do have a different glove or ring that I didn't go over, I guess. It just has very high resist, and it actually has higher chaos resist than the amethyst ring did, because I only had resist on the implicit. So yeah, just life, good resists, and flat cold. So very, very nice. Got some huge upgrades. I think I close to doubled my damage. I think I increased my EHP by like 15%. And if I wasn't an absolute mess, I would have bodied Sirus there. But unfortunately, I played like a bad player. But that is Atlas strategy. At the moment, I am going to fight Elder and Uber Elder, so I need Remnants of the Past, and I'm also going to farm for a Circle of Guilt. Not sure how I'm going to fit it in just yet, but I'm going to work out how to fit it in and put that in. So I am taking Vivid Memories and Remnants of the Past to increase the drop rate of Synthesis maps and Guardian maps in my maps. Other than that, I'm set up for Searing Exarch farming. I actually spec'd out of Harvest too early. I should have stayed until I could get the enchant on my claw. So now I'm going to have to either buy the blue harvest juice or just, you know, spec back into it, which is kind of a pain. But yeah, I'm just doing essences and legions mostly. And I'm going to keep doing legions until I get a good one, or until I just break. Don't want to do legions. Luckily, I find legions fun. But if I get to the point where I don't find them fun anymore, this is bad pathing, by the way. I could take this for 3 points and save 2 points here. So not great pathing for me overall. But yeah, I'm just doing a normal Alk and Go strategy with everything blocked except Legion and Essence. So I just run into the map, do the Legion, do the Essence, do the boss, clear most of the map, get out, rinse and repeat. And that's kind of what I'm up to now. So I should be able to get all of my Watchstones within probably tomorrow. We'll see what's going on, see if I'm still kind of pressed. But yeah, that's all of it. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye.